Hello, hello. I think I'm just gonna stick with this. Hello. All right. Tonight I would like to speak on the topic of heart attack, myocardial infarction. I'm sorry, I didn't put on my thing here. Okay. All right, share the live. Let me see. Okay, so tonight's. Oh, hi, dear Yamo. Good evening, Yamo. How are you? Yes, tonight's topic is heart attack. Let me share the live. Give me a second. Okay. Share the live. Give me a second. Okay. Hi, Yamo. Okay. Let me see here now. Okay. Take a minute here. I'm gonna share the live with a few persons. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so tonight discussion is myocardial infarction. Gene. Okay. I have my tea tonight. Tonight is tea. It's a little cold here in Florida. So let me wait a little bit more. Okay, I thought I sent this. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to start now. Yeah. Okay, so a myocardial infarction is commonly called a heart attack. A heart attack happens when blood to the arteries of the heart, the coronary arteries, is completely blocked. Okay, so sometimes plaque erupts in an artery or so, and it might also occlude an artery, but blood is still flowing through. For example, the artery might be 50% blocked. Well, you might get some signs, irregularity in your heart. But usually when the heart is blocked 70 to 75% or so before you would normally get visible, not visible, but enough signs or anginas or so. Okay? But once the blood vessel to the heart is completely blocked, when usually a heart attack happens. What are the signs of a heart attack? All right. One of the biggest or most commonly known sign is chest pain experienced as pressure. It's not really pain per se, but it's a very severe pressure on the chest. Some individuals liken it as though an elephant is sitting on your chest. Another sign is cold sweat, nausea, and frequently vomiting, shortness of breath, heart palpitation, like, like rapid beating of your heart and so on. Another one is dizziness. And for some individuals, especially females, they may experience non-specific pain, especially in the arms and so on. so much so that the person doesn't really realize they're having a heart attack because it's not, the usual pain, chest pain that most people experience. But women do not usually show, or a lot of women do not show the classic signs of a heart attack. Okay, let's move on to the risk factors. What are some of the contributing factors that causes a heart attack? First one, we have diabetes. And diabetes is a problem as far as a lot of different conditions that we have. Diabetes is the root cause of a lot of them. But in a heart attack, what diabetes normally does is it affects the vascular system, hence the link with heart attacks here. So if the blood sugar is high, this can be a risk factor, including patients who are borderline diabetes, those who have hyperinsulinemia or excessive amounts of insulin in the blood. Another big elephant in the room, as far as risk factor is concerned, is stress. There is a common saying, stress kills. So if you undergo very stressful situations constantly, or if you have, let's say, a plaque or something, of that nature, stressing, a lot of stress can cause your body to go haywire and then a plaque erupts. So that's one. Hypertension or high blood pressure. That's another risk factor. Okay. Smoking. It's a big one. Another one is obesity. Also, habitual alcoholic drinking. So there are things that we can do to help to cut down these risks, right? Because we can always stop smoking. We can cut out alcoholic beverages. We can try to lose weight, although that may be hard. Another big culprit that causes heart attack, hyperlipidemia. Few weeks ago, we discussed cholesterol and triglycerides and HDL, LDL, and all those lipids. So we discussed that hyperlipidemia contributes to the buildup of plaque. And when plaque is calcified, then that's the problem. So buildup of calcium, that's the trigger, that's the the bullet that can bring on a heart attack. Okay, I think I've covered most of the risk factors. Oh, leaky gut, that's another one. And a lot of people are not aware that gut health is very important because if you are having a lot of issues, digestive issues with your intestinal tract, that can also lead to a lot of health issues. So that, along with liver problem, fatty liver, because right there, that's a metabolic problem. So I think I've covered most of the common risk factors. Now let's talk about the diagnosis of heart attack. Usually a CT scan and EKGs are done. These are tests that are done to help the doctors zero in. There is a test called a stress test. And all a stress test is you're hooked up to a special EKG machine, and it's connected to a treadmill, and you run or walk briskly on it, and that monitors what's going on in your heart. Hi, Monica. Yamo, you're back. All right. In a little bit, I'll shut up and see if you guys have any feedback and input. So anyhow, moving along. Yes, I was talking about the stress test. So the stress test can miss heart attacks. A lot of times, individuals have been to the doctor or some health facility a day or few before having a heart attack, and they said my stress test was normal. Well, the stress test is really putting on, or what I want to say, it's kind of an artificial way to put the heart under stress, and not all the time it doesn't show, because you normally needs a clot before you'll have an abnormal stress test. Something has to be going on, and so the stress test is not very reliable. It's helpful, but in many cases it misses a heart attack that is down the line. Calcium storage study. Those are kind of new tests that they're coming up with. They find that if you monitor the calcium level, because calcium is really the culprit that causes the heart attack. When the blood vessel, the artery hardens, all that is calcification. So if the calcium can be adjusted and monitored, then it will be less likely for someone to have a heart attack. Now, other enzymes that are used to diagnose the heart attack is enzymes that are run in a laboratory. For example, troponin, ALT, AST, and sometimes BNP, although BNP is used to rule out congestive heart failure. So it's done, it's not really diagnostic of a myocardial infarction, but it's run as a rule out test, because BNP, it could, as I said, could be congestive heart failure or some kind of respiratory pulmonary problem. So those are pretty much, I forget a few more. CRP. The CRP, reactive protein, is also done, and that helps to rule out, to see if there's inflammation, okay? Because inflammation, the heart muscle, if it's damaged and so on, and other organs of the body, then it builds up inflammation in the body. Homocysteine is another test, and probably not tonight, probably in the video I'm going to make on this, I'll probably explain some of these tests. I know I'm just throwing out abbreviations that you may not understand, but just for this purpose, know that there are tests that are done to help to diagnose a heart attack or, myocardial infarction. So hemoglobin A1c. And why is hemoglobin A1c important? Because that's used to really monitor diabetes, high blood sugar. But the thing is, some individuals test negative for glucose in the blood. They'll go and do a fasting blood sugar and it will come back normal. So those individuals, usually they're individuals that are insulin resistant or they're borderline, just not diabetic, but they have high blood sugar in the blood. So that's why you want to do the hemoglobin A1c, because that is a better tool to monitor high blood sugar. You historically they want it to be under 6 to be, a good value. Also, triglyceride, HDL, and cholesterol. Those are lipid panels I discussed a few weeks ago. Those are used to monitor and to calculate the risk factor for a heart attack. So those are the tests. Now, let's talk about preventative remedies. What can we do? And I'm always happy when there is something that I can do to help cut down coming down with a disease or to rectify it. So the first thing is lifestyle changes or modification. First thing is diet. We can modify our diet to help cut down on having a heart attack. For example, we can select foods that are wholesome. And the best foods to eat are the foods that don't come in packages and don't have expiration dates. So those are our fruits and our vegetables and produce that grows in the ground. Those are the best to eat. Must eat meat. We should seek out meat that is coming from grass-fed animals. Animals that are fed with grains and given a lot of hormones and so on to make them get big. So the farmers get more money. Those are detrimental to our health. And products, plants that are GMO modified, those are very bad for our health. So we need to seek out whole from some natural foods. We need to stay away from flour-based products and processed foods. We find with leaky gut that most of the processed foods that we eat, that's what's ruining the gut flora. So we need to include foods that are fermented. For example, yogurt, sauerkrauts. We need to eat good gut flora, foods that promote gut flora, like kimchi and kefir and items like that. Okay? Yes, there are supplements that we can also take, but if we can get the thing naturally to eat, it is better than, some kind of supplement, which is a form of pharmaceutical. All right, so that's as far as food is concerned that we can modify. Now, let me see if we have anything on food. I think that's about it about foods. Now let's talk about blood pressure. We need to keep our blood pressure in good range. Less than 130/85 is ideal. If we have high blood pressure, that will contribute to having not only a heart attack, but a stroke also. So we need to do all we can to keep that within the normal range. Now, weight loss. We need to lose weight. And what again? Eat less. We need to incorporate fasting. Fasting is a good thing because fasting helps to keep our insulin level in check. So fasting don't have to be 24-hour fasting where you're not eating. Fasting could be a 4-hour, 6-hour. When we go to bed at night, we're fasting. So instead of get up and having breakfast early, probably we can wait till around 10 or 11. That gives our body some more time where we're not eating. Okay, so we talk about fasting and eating less per day. Instead of eating 4, 5, 6 times per day where our blood glucose keeps spiking, we need to probably eat only twice per day. And I know for small children that might be ideal because they're growing and they need a lot of nutrients. So I'm not really talking about the kids, but adults need to eat twice or once a day. Have your heavy meal earlier part of the day. Don't eat it and then go to sleep and so on. So that's all I want to say about the fasting and eating less. Now, some other pointers are sleep. We need to get good rest. And when we go to sleep, and I'm guilty of it, guilty. We need to turn off all our blue lights, TVs, our phones, our laptops, what have you. We need to sleep, get good rest, because our body, not just our heart and so on, our brain, our digestive system, we need to sleep and let them get rested and do whatever they need to do while we're sleeping, while we're down. Okay? So good rest is important. We need to do resistance exercise, which is also good for our bones. So I know some of us might be restricted. It's not every exercise we can do, but we can do as small amount, walking brisk, a short distance or so on. But it's important for us to get some form of exercise. I think I already covered manage stress. Yes, we need to, keep our stress level down to the minimum as much as possible. Limit alcoholic beverages. It's okay to drink a glass of wine or something, or, take a drink every now and then, but it shouldn't be a routine where we're consuming a lot of alcohol. That's not good. Get sunlight, very important. And in places in the States here and other countries where there's a lot of winter months and the sun isn't hot, those people especially may have to take vitamin D3 supplement, because D3 is very important in our body, and we need get. Those of us that live in sunny places like Florida and the islands, we can get free vitamin D3 by going out and getting our sunlight, because that's manufactured by the body. Okay. What else? Avoid antibiotics if you can. And I know there are sometimes when we get ill and we have to take these prescriptions. But after you take antibiotics, you may want to help to replenish your normal gut flora, because that's one of the biggies. Problems that we have, Crohn's and all kind of intestinal problems, is that the normal flora of the gut is overrun by bad bacteria. And usually it's the antibiotics that kills off normal flora, and other yeast and other organisms take over. So if we're on an antibiotic regimen for a while, we need to find ways to replenish our good bacteria. For example, earlier I mentioned eating fermented foods and so on, yogurts and so on. Not the pasteurized stuff we get in the store, because those things, they're pasteurized, so the bacteria is dead. We need probably to make them ourselves, cut up our cabbage and make sauerkrauts and make our own yogurt or so on, or buy organic stuff. Okay. All right. What else? Okay. We need to avoid fructose. All these juices that we're drinking, they're not really, most of them not really juice. They're sugar water, colored sugar water, and they're sweetened with fructose. We need to avoid that, because all that is doing is adding to the sugar content. Okay. Meat, I know they make meat to be like a big culprit, but it's not so much the meats that we eat or even the fat, because the body has use for certain fats, but it's how we eat it and with what we eat it. Okay. So the starchy foods, they are the main culprit, because the body stores it and it helps to damage the liver, because the liver becomes fatty and can't detoxify the body and manufacture the chemicals that the body needs, that are manufactured by the liver. So we need to cut down on vegetable oil, and because vegetable oil, the process that is used to refine vegetable oil, that makes the oil very bad. The seeds that they put through high heating and so on, that's not good for our health. So we need to eat oils that are rich in omega-3, like our olive oil. Eat animals. That's why I was mentioning meat. Eat animal products that are rich in omega-3, fishes, fatty fishes like salmon and, so on. I think I mentioned already to stay away from bleached flour and all those junk foods that they make. And I think, let me scan my little cheat sheet here. I think I covered pretty much. Okay, vitamin supplements. Okay. I think I just touched on it when I said to get vitamin D3. But if we can, we should take a multivitamin daily. And then we can add vitamins such as K2 and vitamin D3, and so on to help with the bodily functions that depend on these vitamins. Also, omega-3, we can get that in a supplement. If we can't get enough from the foods we eat, we probably may have to supplement our diet. So that's pretty much my brief discussion on the having heart attacks. I just discussed a lot of the things that we can modify. Some of them we can eliminate, for example, alcohol and starchy, sugary items, and what else? Were the two things that we could eliminate. Yeah. Okay. So, with that said, are there any questions? Any questions? How is everybody doing? Can high cholesterol cause a heart attack? Yes, definitely so. Definitely. In cholesterol is subdivided into mainly three other substances. You have low cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, you have high density lipoprotein, and you have very low density lipoprotein. So high density lipoprotein is the lipoprotein that is called the good lipoprotein. You want more of that. You want your HDL to be high. Now, the low density lipoprotein, it can help to cause plaque buildup in your blood vessels, especially the arteries. So when plaque builds up and high calcium combines with that, that's what makes the plaque erupt, brittle, and break apart. And that is what will travel in your artery and block your blood vessel. Okay? So if it's the blood vessel like the coronary artery that supplies the heart with blood, then you can have a heart attack. And if it goes to the brain and blocks one of the arteries, especially for one of the arteries in the brain, then that's how you get a stroke. So high cholesterol is not desirable. It's preferably our cholesterol should be below 200 milligrams per deciliter. So when you go to the doctor, you do a lipid panel. They usually advise you to fast for 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours before you get your blood drawn. So after you eat your meal in the evening, you normally shouldn't drink anything but water and have your blood drawn in the next morning. So, yes, it can. What else? Yamo. What flavor of tea do we have tonight? Oh, it's chamoli. Mm-hmm. Yes. Teas are good to drink. The bad thing in tea is the sugar we put in it. And I know some people advocate for honey and agave and so on. But anytime we had something sweet, to the tea or the drink, then we are creating a problem. So I'm drinking I'm not chamomile tea tonight. Um, can good night just join in? All right, I saw that. Are there different symptoms of heart attack between men and women? Yes. Earlier, I mentioned that women have more subtle signs. They are not as pronounced as men. And I don't know if it's because of the body mass rather, not mask, body mass of a woman. But women tend not to know they're having heart attack a lot of times because they get very low grade pain. Most of the times, pain radiating down their arms or their ribs or so on. And they don't know it's a heart attack. But men, I know I have a member that had a heart attack, about 2 years now. Um, and I was talking to him and he was giving me his entire ordeal, what happened. So I also have somebody else that had a heart attack. I won't say who that spoke to me. Well, in his case, he told me he didn't have a complete blockage at once. He was feeling the pain like for several days. And then finally he said, no, this, it was getting worse. And he checked himself in the hospital and they had to take him away to surgery right away. It's a good thing he went because it's a heart attack and he had a complete, I think bypass he had. Now, there are times when you don't have a full-blown heart attack. You have what they call a Stemi. And that one is the one that they push up like a ballooning thing inside your vein and open it out. So that one, you'll get chest pains from that. You won't actually have a full-blown heart attack, but that is a sign that if you ignore that, it could develop into a heart attack. What else? Can I call it that? I did that one already. How much of a connection is there between heart attack and strokes? It's similar. Heart attack and strokes are similar. A heart attack is when blood is cut off from the heart, the arteries that supply the heart. A brain attack is another name for a stroke. So a stroke is also called a cerebral infarction. So when the blood supply is cut off from the brain, and the same things are what are the culprits, the same high cholesterol. Because what the cholesterol does, it narrows the blood vessel. It gradually builds up and makes the blood vessel, the inside of the blood vessel narrow, so the blood cannot go through it as much. And gradually, if that blood vessel is blocked, that's when you get either a stroke or a heart attack. So they are similar and they have similar causes: high pressure, diabetes, high lipidemia. Okay. Can high cholesterol cause? Yes. How much of a connection is that? I answered that one. We're good. Okay. I am so glad and I'm grateful for you guys stopping by. I think I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next, which disease I'm gonna cover next, but I'm gonna look for probably something that is common, because I find that probably I'll do either prostate cancer or breast cancer. An acquaintance, tomorrow is gonna be her funeral. She's up in New York, and she passed away on the 1st with breast cancer. And I think that those two conditions are very important. I know, especially in Jamaica, the population there has a very high level of prostate cancer. I don't know why, but it's so high there. I know it's high here in the US as well. And it's important that men get checked out. They may not like the way how a doctor examines them for it, but they need to get with it. There isn't anything wrong. They need to check their prostates, because it can be prevented. Prostate cancer can be when I don't want to say prevented. A full blown prostate cancer can be prevented, because you can take medication, and if push comes to shove, there's surgery, but surgery before it starts spreading, because what most people do, they sit with it. Either they don't know it's happening until when it's already spread, then there's much that can be done. And it's the same thing with breast cancer. Women should examine their breasts on a weekly basis. You take in a shower, you need to feel. So I think I'm gonna do, or probably I might combine both of them, because those two problems are very, very common, especially among our race, the population. Very, very common. Others too, but I've seen a lot instances of prostate cancer in the Black population. I think I'm going to do some research to see how it affects Asians and Caucasians. But I know, especially in Jamaica, I don't know why it's so high there. So that is that. What else? Please invite somebody, share the video and invite somebody to come on the live next week. I appreciate the two of you, and thanks for asking the questions. This is what I like. I like you to have input. And if you know something and you want to share it with me, you do that also. Okay. How is my friend doing, Miss Monica? Let me see if she's still there. She said, we are good. Okay. So, Yamo, is Yamo gone? No, he's there still. Yamo, um, how I watched the recital again. I watched it this morning. I think I watched it last night, and this morning I went on my phone. I saw it popping up. I think they did editing and so on. Yeah, yeah. That's this morning. Yeah. Okay. Not at home now. Let me see. You man say not at home now, but I talked to him this evening. Okay, he has a girlfriend. I'm kidding. I'm not him. Okay. I send you the link for the flute recite. Okay. All right, Yamo, do that. I enjoy watching the kids yesterday, and I would like to be part of that, whatever they do in school or extra curricular if it's can be sent on live. Let me ask Yamo, no Yamo, Monica. Where that where that lady name again? Bar's wife. Where's she? Doreen. Yeah, that. I have to go call Monica tomorrow. I have a talk. I haven't had a chance really to have a blessed night. Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming again, Monica. And thank you, Mr. Yamo. That. Okay. I am this is the second week now I try my regular webcam broadcast, and it's working out better than the OBS. I'm going to head out. Okay, all right. Good night, Yamo. Say hello to Brand Muffin and the kids. Okay. Okay, the lights look great with this setup. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I think this is better. I'm just gonna stick with the simple instead of going to some sophisticated thing. I have to go warm over my tea. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes the simple thing is better than, you know, the other stuff. Too much problem with that streaming software. I uninstalled it. All right. Good night. Okay. Tomorrow I call you, Monica. All right. You heard me? All right. Good night. Night. Wow, 54 minutes. I'm going to just hang out for 60 minutes. I want it to run into an hour. So, um, yes. So, guys, please share the with someone else, although they were not on when I am broadcasting, but I would like them to get the video to help them to understand a heart attack. Invite them to come on next week. I go live on Answer Me TV every Saturday at 8 p.m. Okay? Tomorrow I'll be live on my Facebook channel I have a discussion group on Facebook, and I changed the name recently. I changed it to Your View. Yeah, I think it's more inclusive. I used to have it called Make Jamaica Safe, and I thought that was not serving a broad enough audience. So I decided to change the name and to encourage a wider variety of individuals to join. So tomorrow I'll be on there. I think one of the topic I want to talk about is 9-year-old Gabriel, not Gabriel. A girl is Gabrielle. 9-year-old Gabriel King. It's, never stops. These kids being taken out. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we just have to keep hammering it home, and hopefully it will stick. But we're losing too many kids. Blatantly, people just taking them out left and right. That's horrible. So let me see. All right. Okay. Good night, Miss Monica. I forgot send something for you too. Okay. Yeah. I'm not hearing anything from Princess T. Princess TT keeps scarce. Okay. So I'm gonna make a video on myocardial infarction, and then I'll have it posted. I think I'll be able to cover a little bit more. I just roughly went over this. I didn't do too much refining on it, but at least I covered some of the points that I'm going to make in the video. And I probably gonna start researching. This week went by so quickly. It was yesterday I realized it was Friday. It went by so fast, But I think I'm going to talk about probably two things next week in one presentation. One live gonna carry prostate cancer and breast cancer. And then I'll do separate videos on them. I think that's the thing to do. So that is that. Please, when you watch this video, inviting you to join the channel, like the video, press the notification bell so you'll be updated whenever I release a video. And please share the videos with someone and invite them to visit the channel and check out other videos that I've posted in the past. Okay? All right. Good night.